So the first thing we're going to talk about is what to look for in a scratch record. Basically, there's three types of records that you can buy. There's the full-length album, which will be like if you just go to the store and buy a CD, that's what you're going to get on the album. If you want to save some money and you want to get the songs that you really want to hear, there's singles. Basically, a single record will consist of the main version of the song, a radio edit, it'll have the instrumental, which will obviously just be the beats that you hear on the record. At times it will have the a cappella. But what we're going to look at, since this topic is about scratching, is a scratch record. This was the very first scratch record I ever picked up. It's the very best of DJ Rectangle. And what it has is it will have some tracks with some beats, and then it'll have a breakdown of just scratch samples. So let's take a look at what a scratch sample is. So when looking for scratch samples, essentially you want to think of a scratch sample as just a chunk or a single phrase that you can use to throw in on an instrumental. So when we're looking at DJ Rectangle here, let's just cycle through about 4, maybe 5 different scratch samples.
Oh, yeah.
There's 1.
I'll let you stay alive for now.
There's 2.
But not if I see you again.
That's 3. And 4 is right here. So basically these are all the tools that you are going to use to create just infinite amount of different sounds. That's probably good for that part. So something you really want to focus on is marking your records. A big thing about turntablism is hand-eye coordination, or knowing where to bring the record back at all times. So a lot of DJs will cheat and actually have some visual cues set up for them. As you can tell, my visual cue that I put is this line right here. I just took a marker. Careful not to put it on any of the tracks, which I didn't do. That way I know when I'm looking at a specific scratch sample, this one, I'm looking always to bring it back to the very beginning, which is right there. So usually I'm going to know that this line right here needs to be pointed right there, or I look at other cues too, like pictures on the record. So if you can see right here, there's a little record. That matches up perfectly with my needle, so that's where I know where to go at all times. I can let it go for a while, and I always know to come back to that point. So a good thing to do is just to mark your scratch records, or any record that you have when you want to remember a specific spot in that record. Sit at home and just practice this, bringing it back.